Hey YouTube, hey, Les Pauls and basses this week, I suppose. This is, I've got this in for, I was doing a wee bit of modding on it. It's got the push-pull coil split, which splits the, no, it's not a coil split at all, it's a phase switch. So it does the Peter Green thing, so it basically flips the phase of the neck pickup, giving you an extra sound in the middle. Actually, I did an unboxing of this video a couple of weeks ago. Sorry it took so long to get I had to get extra parts for it. Yeah, so this is one of the ones that's got the PCB in it, and it's quite a lot of extra work to do to work around the PCB, and I had to do, that's really quite a difficult thing to do. Probably if you're going to do it yourself, I would probably recommend just buying 4 pots and then just doing them, just rewiring the whole thing, ditching the PCB completely. But I wanted to see what it was like when you did it properly, so I did it properly. Not that it's anything improper. Why are my lips looking black? It's funny light. Yeah, so I never actually played this guitar. This is a 2021 tribute. Just a tribute, not that's my one, which I've actually dug out the back. I'm putting it there so I actually play the thing. I've had that for, what, more than a month now. And basically, I got it back here, I assembled it, and then I did a video for half an hour, and then I haven't played it since. I think I maybe played it in a live stream, but I need to play it more. It's got P90s in it. So, that's a 2013 or something like that, 50s tribute. This is just a tribute. It's not a 60s or a 50s or a 70s or anything else tribute. So, we've got a lighter coloured maple, well, see, I don't think, I mean, I was looking at, is it the same as this one? See, I think I've heard these have got maple necks. I don't think they do. I'm pretty sure that's mahogany. It's just it's not been stained, so it looks lighter. But I mean, it definitely, does it maybe look like, I don't know wood, but it doesn't look like maple to me, unless it's just whatever kind of stain they've used to make it look mahogany. It just seems to have all the wee, what's the word I'm looking for? You use grain filler for the wee flex. It's got that on it, which you don't normally get in maple. Yeah, so Les Paul's got the reveal binding, i.e. no binding, but it's got the maple cap on it. 2-part maple cap. Maybe not a much nicer one than that. It looks much nicer because this has still got the original varnish on it. That one was just black the first time I saw it. Yeah, and then you get the mahogany back. So, bona fide proper Les Paul. The big difference is, which I didn't even notice until after I'd wired it to make sure it was working, it's got the chunky neck on it, which is, I'm assuming this is, it's definitely not the same neck as this one. It's definitely not. So it's not a 50s neck then, because this is you would assume that a 50s tribute, because it actually says on the headstock that's a 50s tribute, that would be the 50s neck one. Whereas this neck is chunkier. So, I don't know, is it that I'm not an expert in these things, I'm sure lots of you are. I'm sure there's different, maybe like an early 50s neck, or a late 50s neck or something, I don't know. They maybe didn't change it in 1960. Well, you didn't really get Les Pauls in 1960, did you? So you get fat necks and thin neck. This has got the sort of fatter neck. Yeah, so here we go. So, bridge pickup. Neck pickup. I'm just going to raise that bridge pickup up a little bit. I lowered it quite a bit. I was messing about with the phase thing, and it didn't make as much difference as I was expecting it to, and I think it's because this pickup was very low and this pickup was very high, so although this one was out of phase, the two pickups fighting against each other is how you get the phase thing, because they're not, one of them's technically, it's basically wired electrically backwards. And because this one was much louder and much closer to the strings than this one, when you put this one out of phase, it was kind of not fully out of phase, because obviously if both pickups are at exactly the same volume, it phases quite well, because you're sucking away it only lets through frequencies that neither in pickup. Whereas if you got the bridge pickup was much louder, it was kind of like, yeah, it's doing something, but not doing enough. So now I've got it. I like it. Tons of reverb on. Maybe I've adjusted it. So middle position, normal. With the phase on. I mean, it's not like a pure ridiculous, stomping around a distortion pedal sound, but it definitely does give it more air and jangle. Kind of makes it sound a bit more like the P90 one, actually. So I suppose before I just jam out like I always do. If you're going to do this mod to a Les Paul, some notes, right? Okay, so this has the PCB in it, the plastic PCB. I did have to modify that to get the push-pull pot to fit in. I did have to do a wee bit of routering, not very much, to make the push-pull pot fit in. The wires, this is because it's got the it's got wee fan clips on it. The actual wee fan clip has 5 wires on it. So you've got earth, start, finish, and then the 2 split wires in the middle. For coil splits. So these pickups, I didn't have to take them to bits. I was worried about this before with I think it was the last guitar I did for Edward, where if you've only got 2 wires coming off the pickup, so you've got like a core and then a shield. The shield is connected to the base plate and earth. The problem is that, see, when you phase reverse it, as in you take the 2 wires and you flip them over, it puts the cover and the base plate in the circuit. So that makes a huge difference to the sound. Rather than just going round the pickup and then out again, it goes round the pickup and then it's got a big what's the word I'm looking for? Aerial there for picking up crap. And if you touch it when it's in reverse phase, it's like touching the end of the leads, because it's basically you're putting it live. But this one, because it's got the 5 wires, I did have to obviously snip them to get in at them. But so I didn't have to actually take the pickup to bits to separate off the earth wire and put an extra earth wire in. So I mean, the most common mod for these is, well, people always want the Jimmy Page wiring. I've done it a few times. I did it for one of my guitars, and really it's too many options. There's a point where you just go, well, I mean, the phase thing, all of the sounds you get from the Jimmy Page would be push-pull coil split for the neck, push-pull coil split for the bridge, the phase, and then a series parallel switch, which is a difficult one to put in. You need a different type of switch here. But all of the sounds that you gain out of that are kind of going in the Fendery direction. So I would put in the coil splits or put in the phase, and I wouldn't bother with the series parallel. I think even Jimmy Page has said that he just put that in because there was 4 knobs, so might as well 4 switches. But never used it. I think he's also got other switches in here, which he says he never used either. It's just that Gibson asked him, I want everything on it. Yeah, go for it. Give me the salad and sauce, and I'll pick out the salad. Yeah. But again, I mean, I think I'm softening a little bit to Les Pauls. It's because this is the cheaper one. I like it better than the $2,500 one. I think these are probably over $1,000 anyway, but it just doesn't have that. What's the difference between this and the standard? And it's like binding all the way around and better paint. Right. Neither of those things make the guitar sound or play any different at all. But I get it. It's nice having, I've got some really fancy basses and stuff. I mean, it's nice having the through neck and all the gold and the glitter and all that shit. But they don't really make any difference to the sound of the guitar. So I'm kind of a more honest thing. I'm not hating the fat neck either. There's another kind of... There is a Gibson neck I don't like. It was on... I think it was a 2013 or something like that. SG standard. And I think it might be called a slim taper, where it kind of feels like a broomstick here and then kind of normal here. I didn't like that one. There's very few neck profiles that I've ever come across that I don't like. A lot of people are very into that. You know, it's like, oh, is it Pontiac? Is that a 7.25 radius or a 10 radius? Because I can't remember. It doesn't like 10s, only like 7.25. It's like, I'm not as picky as that. Or even some people just don't like necks. I'm quite happy with. I mean, there's so many guitars, so many different shapes of neck profile. I just like one that's a bit different, and this is within my parameters of not being completely weird. So it's a wee bit different, more interesting. There's probably an argument to be had for the thicker neck's better tone. Using the T word, Mr. Whitesnake. Yeah. But this one plays actually really pretty good. I have not done anything to this apart from electrically, and it's fine. I actually just thought of that right there, because I mean, I've had these before. But then again, this is one of the new ones, isn't it? Or 221. When did they have they rejuvenated everything? Was that a few years ago, maybe 2018 or something like that? They did that. Whereas I had to do quite a lot of fretwork on that one when I had it in like a couple of years ago before I bought it, and also I had to do fretwork on. Or I remember trying a 50s tribute SG, and the frets on it were awful. Maybe a wee bit. They're not amazing. It's not a Japanese guitar, but they're all right. They're not like pure you know. There's a wee bit when you get up here. That's a wee bit scratchy, but that's only for the edge of the fingerboard. That's not the same as having dead frets, you know, all over the place. Yeah, so all working nice. So one of those ones you can't do. Also, I've intentionally, Edward, I've left this knob sitting slightly higher than the other ones, so that, see, when you go to pull it up, you can actually get your fingers around it to grip it to pull it up. I've had this problem before with Strats. I did that with I put a mod in a Strat a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, it's like, because they're not, I don't have a West Tone sitting here, but West Tone knobs were they had ones called Switchmaster knobs, which came out in the 84 or something like that, and instead of being that shape, they're that shape, so they're wider on the top. You know, they're kind of like, you know, circular on the top, and then they get thinner, and you're like, oh, that's kind of strange looking, but actually, so you can push. That's when they brought out the push-pull pots. It's like a really good idea, that, for getting a grip of. Obviously, you can do it okay with like a Telecaster knob or something like that, but Strat knobs and these, it's like kind of, it's a bit, if you've been eating crisps or you're sweating, that's not, so you won't be able to get your finger in below it. So that's the reason for that. Yeah, phase, really? So much better for that kind of thing. Not really pressing it. Really playing Albatross, shouldn't I? I don't know how you play that though. In phase. Edge. That's like do stand by, like, see humbuckers, they're very, what's the opposite of jangly? It's kind of like, as opposed to being a sort of, it's kind of like a sort of, they're very, the difference between, just when you're playing that sort of, going for the sort of acousticy things, are very direct. 2 ways to kill that. One, you either put coil splits in. 3 ways you can cut coil splits, put in the phase, which gives you that, what I like. Or gain. So I've got a really small, I'm messing about with I borrowed this off my pal. It's I don't think he likes it, and it's like, I don't know if I do either. I'm going to have to do a proper go at it, but it's one of those ones I've kind of plugged it in, and it was, I've had one in before. Somebody gave it to me. I don't think it was the same guy. I'm sure it was Liam that gave me a shot of it saying it's broken. Can you fix it? And I was like, I can't fix pedals. Like, you take a look at it anyway. So I did, and it's like, there's a voltage starve on it, and a thing called bias, which kind of, if you put them at nothing, it doesn't work. It's like things start, it's kind of meant to simulate a dying battery, the voltage one, and the bias things, like, I don't really fully understand. It's like a gain control, but if you've got it too low, it kind of, nothing comes through until you hit it really hard, and it kind of goes, which is, it's a sound. It's what the pedal's for, but it's not like a usable one. I don't think. So I've still got my British Dream, which is just a little bit of gain. It makes a big difference for the. I don't know if it tames the high end or something like that. It does. I want to put bass on, so I'm going to, because do whatever I want. Take a bit of, oh god, the choices of bass, just take the first one. No, I just want it to be in tune. Yep, that sounds in tune to me. Soon find out. Sorry. Get the rat pedal on, which is what I want to do. 20 minutes already. At least this video's in sync. This video should come out today. I've still got a few in the bank. And then rat pedal, which is what I like. middle in phase. Doesn't make as much difference with the distortion on. Actually, think about it. Fine. Turn that down. Okay, it goes off. So there's bridge pick. That's using the volume control. So we're out of phase. Full bridge. Then you can bring in the other one. Aye, phasing. See what I noticed? It took me buying a Les Paul to get it. What I've been doing wrong, I've said this in the last couple of videos, it sits there. That's what's wrong. It doesn't sit there like a normal guitar, like every other guitar, because the necks, it makes it really awkward to play, which I think is one of the main reasons I've been struggling with Les Pauls forever. I sit the guitar like that, and it's like, it makes this angle here, your neck it's kind of almost playing behind you, because the neck angles, when I say extreme, it's probably only that, but you notice it. Whereas if you put it boom there, kind of on your hip or whatever, suddenly the neck's in the right place. It makes the whole guitar in a funny place, but it puts the neck in the right place, and it makes a huge difference to how. So I still don't know what I'm going to do with my one. It's kind of, it's kind of sort of not worth getting Jen to paint it. I don't know. I'll see how I go on with it. But no, this is the first Les Paul I've played in ages, actually, since I did the video for that one. Immediately, now that I know how to do it, but this is how a lot of these things happen in it. It's the same. I always talk about this with like an Explorer type guitar. It feels really weird because there's nothing here. If you're used to like a Strat or something, there's something at this bit, whereas an Explorer kind of does that. So you end up with this, like, the neck looks really long, and it's kind of a bit strange not having like a sort of, not having something here, just because this bit's just not there. It's a similar sort of thing. It's just a case of, yep, not like that, like that. Sorted. Nope, but I mean, pretty good guitar. I don't even want to look up how much these are, because I'm going to be glad up here. Trevor, quit, fuck off! But I don't know. Yeah, so I'm still toying with the idea. I've asked the guy, he's not got back to me. I might flip that pickup backwards, just so it looks like Peter Green's. The only difference that makes to the pickup is it means that when you're adjusting the pole pieces, because we all do that, don't we? Although I do actually have a secret special tip from it actually comes from one of the texts from the Grateful Dead. Yeah. About pole pieces, and it's like, right. I'll give it a go. It's just something I've never really touched. Occasionally I've bought a guitar and it's like, why can't I hear the B string? And for some reason, the pole piece is screwed right down. But whether it makes any difference to what I'm trying to say there is flipping this pickup backwards so that the pole piece line is here, it doesn't make any difference. It just doesn't. But it looks cool, and everyone always thought that was the special secret with Peter Green's guitar, and it wasn't. The special secret with Peter Green's guitar was the pickup broke, and he got somebody to repair it, and they put it back together backwards. It's pretty much what happened. I think there's more to it than that. I think they rewind it with a different kind of wire or something as well. I think there's books on that one pickup, just the neck pickup that's different. The bridge pickup's just standard. And obviously when it's on its own, it doesn't make any difference whether it's backwards or not. It's only when you get two of them fighting against each other. Such is the way with phase switches. It doesn't do anything with one pickup if you've got it between two. Apart from on a West Tone Concord H2, in which case it does, because what it does is the phase switch normally goes between the two pickups. On the West Tone Concord, it doesn't. The phase switch goes between the two coils of the pickup, so you can just be on the bridge and then hit the phase, and it does something. Whereas on this, you're on the bridge, hit the phase, doesn't do anything. On the neck, doesn't do anything. It's only when they're both on. I think I've laboured that point enough. Sorry the video's so long, but anyway, that's us up to. I'm going to try and put this one out today. There's still a couple in the kind of backlog. I've still got to get onto all these bases. I've still got to play that. And I've got a couple of guitars to wire as well. So, rock on. Les Paul 2021 Just Tribute. So I suppose the argument is it's the cheap one. Oh, you got the cheap one? It's like, yep. I think, to be honest, you can probably buy two cheap ones for the price of a standard. And the difference being... well, it's twice as good having two of them really in it, because then you've got two, you can have them in different tunings, or you can get one with a P90s in it. So you get two different guitars rather than just having one that's, I think you'll find it's a standard. It means I can go on the internet and show people and impress people. And it's like, you might be able to impress people. Yeah, you don't impress me. No. You impress me with, I've got an 8-string Washburn bass. Oh, do you? That's interesting and exciting and far, far more interesting to me than any Les Paul. Sorry. Or any Gibson, any, 8 strings, fuck's sake, and they're wired from the bottom. That's super interesting. Yep, so ready to rock. Catch you all later.